Hey everybody, this is the roving reporter, and I'm here with another top tip. Again, related to teaching in general, but it's about speaking. And a student asked me the other day, how can we keep up or maybe maintain a flow, especially if we know we're making mistakes. And this happens to all of us when we learn a new language. We make mistakes, we kind of stutter, we kind of stumble, worry about verb tenses, worry about prepositions, and so on, especially in English, right? What I did was I thought of maybe using an analogy with what happens when we drive a car. Most of you drive, right? So when you're driving, you get in your car. Let's imagine you're in your car, right? You get in, put in your seat belt, you start your car, you drive off, and you're passing, going down the street, and something catches your eye. You stop, and you go into reverse. So think of it like that when you're speaking, and maybe you want to correct yourself. You want to go back and check. What you can do is just say, "Let me go back here. Let me, retrace my steps, or let me just go back." So you can actually do this self-correction technique without actually losing this flow. I think this helps a lot because a lot of times we worry about maybe stopping, pausing. But if you just use that little chunk, like say, let me just go back, let me back up a bit. I think this is the main chunk. So if you say that to yourself, or just even when you're talking to someone, let me just back up here, and then you correct yourself and say what you wanted to say. Another you could also say, so, maybe no, let me rephrase that. I could say, let me rephrase, let me back up, let me change what I said here, because that way you're giving yourself time, and you're also letting your interlocutor, the person who's listening to you, making them aware of what you're doing, how you're conducting the conversation, what we call signposting. So this can be used, I think, at any level, even with the beginners. But it was a tip that a teacher asked me about her own work, how she was studying the language. And sometimes she felt a bit, she felt stuck, or she felt that she wasn't actually working the language as she should. And that this was kind of hampering her fluency. Yeah? So that was her tip for, she wanted to get this tip, and she wanted to know how she could actually um, build that confidence in herself. So you see, even the more advanced speakers, even if you are advanced, you do have that feeling sometimes that you're not moving ahead with your language. So remember, use sentences like that. Let me back up a bit. Let me just, rephrase myself. And think of the car. You're driving on the street, and something catches your attention. You jam the brakes, you hit the brakes, and you pull back, right? You just reverse, go into reverse. So you go back, retrace your steps a little bit to that part where where you said something, and just correct yourself. Okay? Use it and get your students to do it, and let me know if it works. Remember that. Let me go back a bit. Let me, retrace my steps, or let me back up. That's it. The roving reporter with another top tip. The roving reporter. Roving reporter. See you all. Bye bye.